All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the playbook that the world's most powerful companies are using right now. This isn't just a small tweak in strategy. It's a massive shift in how you even think about leadership. And it all comes down to one big idea: ecosystem orchestration.
You know, for the longest time, the business world was pretty simple. Power meant ownership, right? You own the factories, you own the supply chain, you owned all the stuff. But that's old power. The game has totally changed. Today, the real power players operate on a completely different model. It's not about owning anymore. It's about orchestrating. It's about being the conductor of a massive orchestra of partners that you don't actually own.
And look, this isn't just some abstract business school theory. We're talking about the biggest names out there. Think about it. Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, the Titans. They're all playing this game. They're not just fighting to be the best company in an industry, they're building and coordinating entire ecosystems around themselves. It's a whole different level of strategy.
So, this really brings us to the big multi-trillion-dollar question, doesn't it? How in the world do you lead? How do you actually shape an entire market when you don't own all the pieces? That's the puzzle, right? And ecosystem orchestration, that's the answer.
Okay, so let's get a really clear definition here. What are we really talking about? At its core, ecosystem orchestration is all about creating value together. It's your ability to coordinate a whole bunch of independent players. We're talking partners, developers, suppliers, even your customers, without having them on your payroll. You become the central hub, the sun that everything else orbits around, enabling everyone to connect and build something amazing.
And when you put the old and new models side by side, the difference is just stark. The traditional way, you had to build everything yourself. It was a closed box. The new ecosystem model is the complete opposite. Your job is to enable other people to build on your platform. You're fostering this wide-open collaboration. It's not about controlling a straight line, like a supply chain. It's about conducting a whole network of value.
So if you want to be an orchestrator, your job really boils down to three things. Think of it like this. You're the connector, bringing everyone to the party. You're the enabler, giving them the tools they need to have a good time. And you're the rule maker, making sure everyone plays nice in the sandbox. Connector, enabler, rule maker. That's the core of the role.
Okay, sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you build one of these things? Well, there's a blueprint for that. Let's walk through the 5 key elements you need to design a powerful ecosystem.
So if you're the architect here, you've got to have answers for these 5 critical questions. First, purpose. Why should anyone even bother joining your ecosystem? What's in it for them? Second, value flows. Okay, who's creating the value here, and more importantly, who gets to capture it? How is the pie sliced? Third, governance. What are the rules of the road? Everyone needs to know how to play the game. Fourth, incentives. How do you get people excited? How do you motivate them to not just join, but to actively contribute? And finally, platform tools. What are you actually giving them to make it easy to work together? These are the pillars of your entire strategy.
And this really gets to the heart of the mindset you need. You're not the general on a hill barking orders down to the troops. That's old power. Your real job is more like a master gardener. It's about coordination, making sure all the different plants get what they need to thrive together, and inspiration, creating a vision for the garden that makes everyone want to be a part of it.
All right, let's get practical. Let's look at the absolute masters of the ecosystem game, because seeing this blueprint in action, that's where you really see how powerful it is.
So first up, let's talk about Apple. What's so fascinating about Apple is they've created this illusion of total control. It feels like they own and build everything, right? But the reality is, they don't. It is an absolute masterclass in making orchestration look like ownership. Just look at the different layers of their business. They keep an iron grip on the hardware, right? That's non-negotiable. But then, they strategically open things up. The OS is just open enough, and the App Store is this giant open invitation for millions of developers to come and innovate for them. Apple sets the rules, they provide the tools with their developer kits, and then they sit back and orchestrate this colossal economy, taking a nice slice of every transaction. It's just genius. Okay, now let's pivot to a totally different beast, Amazon. Their strategy couldn't be more different from Apple's. Amazon isn't obsessed with controlling the final polished product. No, their whole game is about building the fundamental infrastructure. They're laying down the railroad tracks that pretty much everyone else's business now runs on.
I mean, just think about all the hats Amazon wears. They're the landlord of the biggest marketplace on Earth. They're the logistics conductor with Fulfillment by Amazon. They're the digital backbone of the internet with AWS. And now they're a key player in AI and advertising.
By playing the orchestrator in all these different arenas, they've made themselves completely essential to millions of other businesses, all without having to actually make or own every single product they help sell.
And if you want an example that's happening right now, front and center, look no further than Microsoft and OpenAI. This partnership is basically a live-action textbook on how to build an ecosystem in the age of AI.
So check out how the pieces fit together. Microsoft didn't have to invent the next great AI model from scratch. What did they do? They brought the two things they had in spades, a ton of cash and a monster cloud platform in Azure. Then you have OpenAI, who brought the revolutionary research and the innovation engine. Put those two together, and suddenly you have developers flocking to build new apps and huge companies jumping in to use the tech. Microsoft, with one strategic move, made itself the central hub, the orchestrator for this entire AI revolution.
So we've seen how the pros do it. What can we learn from them? What are the actual plays you need to run? Let's open up the orchestrator's playbook and look at the rules of this new game.
All right, here are the 5 big moves you need to make. Number 1, build the shared infrastructure. This is your foundation, the APIs, the platform, the marketplace. Number 2, set the rules. Your governance has to be clear and, really importantly, fair. 3, actively encourage everyone to work together. You have to foster that collaboration. 4, make it dead simple for other people to build cool stuff on your platform. And finally, number 5, use all the data you're collecting as a feedback loop. Constantly learn and make the whole system better for everyone.
But listen, here's the absolute golden rule. You cannot forget this one. If you build an ecosystem that's designed to only benefit you, the orchestrator, it's gonna fail. It's just a matter of time. People aren't stupid. Your partners will leave. Your developers will find somewhere else to go. The whole magic of this model depends on one thing: creating real shared value for everybody at the table.
And when you nail that, when everyone is winning, you kickstart this incredible, powerful cycle. We call it the ecosystem flywheel. It just starts spinning on its own. See, more participants join, which means you get more innovation. All that cool new stuff attracts more customers. More customers means more data. You can then use that data to make the experience even better, which, you guessed it, attracts even more participants, and the wheel just spins faster and faster. That's how these ecosystems create their own gravity, literally pulling the rest of the industry in around them.
Okay, let's boil this all down. What are the big takeaways here? First, leadership today is about coordination, not command and control. Second, you win by helping others win. Your success is tied to enabling them to create value. Third, your new toolkit isn't factories and machines, it's data, APIs, and a smart set of rules. And finally, and this is the big one, ecosystems aren't just a part of the business landscape, they are the new competitive battlefield.
And that really just leaves us with this one powerful idea to think about. Looking forward, the companies that truly dominate, the ones that last, they're not going to be the ones that own the most stuff. Not at all. They're going to be the ones who've mastered the art of orchestration, the ones who can shape the future of an entire industry without needing to own every last piece of it.